Well, thank you, NBC. I had no idea. I am shocked, absolutely shocked, that tattoos can be racist. Did you know tattoos are racist? So NBC, in its infinite wisdom, its attempt to perform hard-hitting journalism, put out a hit piece yesterday against Pete Hegseth, going after Pete Hegseth's tattoos. Of course, we had this confirmation hearing yesterday. Pete Hegseth, Trump's pick for Secretary of Defense. Today, they're interviewing Pam Bondi. So NBC claims in this piece they put out, this hit piece, that Pete Hegseth's tattoos are code for white supremacy, January 6th, pro-Confederates, right-wing extremism. Really now, NBC, where's your evidence of this? Where's your evidence of this? And they show him bare-chested, coming out of a pool somewhere. Oh, he's just so sexy, that Pete Hegseth. So on his chest, he has the Jewish cross. And on his arm, he's got tattooed Deus Vult, which means something like for God's will or God willing. NBC, you wouldn't want to see my tattoos. So if you're new to the channel, welcome back to the channel Culture Confederacy here. It's Wednesday night. Happy Wednesday, everybody. But if you're new to the channel, I don't do any fancy graphics, epic soundtracks, pretty boy camera angles. It's you, me, my smartphone. We talk about anti-censorship, culture, past and present, current events. Because if you take down everything you disagree with, you're not going to have anything left to talk about. And I happen to write music in my spare time. So this is something that I'm really passionate about. And I don't need bells and whistles to bring you this YouTube channel. So if you're looking for that, you're not going to find it here. But I thought this was a real scream. So they're making these ties to white supremacy and January 6th. And they show pictures of the Confederate battle flag. Remember the guy carrying the Confederate battle flag on the rotunda? Ooh, I'm shaking on my boots because some guy carried a Confederate battle flag in the rotunda at the Capitol. Can I tell you something, NBC? One of the reasons the design was chosen because they talked to the Southern Poverty Law Center. And the Southern Poverty Law Center is now claiming that these tattoos or that Deus Vult is anti-Semitic. That the Jewish cross tattoo that Pete Hegseth has on his chest is somehow anti-Semitic. It's the Jewish cross, you idiot. But one of the reasons that the design was chosen for the Confederate battle flag, which is actually the battle flag of the Army of Northern Virginia or Tennessee, depending on which flag you're looking at, because I think there's two different flags. One's rectangular, the other one's square. And the amount of stars are different on each flag. So there are subtle differences. But one of the reasons that design was chosen isn't because of white supremacy in BC. It's because at the time in 1860, 1861, you had a large Jewish population in the South, and some of the members, these soldiers in the Confederate Army, complained to their commanders that they were offended by the flag that the Confederacy was trying to propose for the battlefield. So what did? They changed it as not to offend the Jewish population in the South. And you also had a large Scotch-Irish population in places like Tennessee and Kentucky in the Deep South. And that X is the same X you see on the Scottish national flag. And it's also the same symbol you see on the Jamaican national flag, as well as the Russian naval jack, which the Russian naval jack looks very similar, eerily similar to the Confederate battle flag of the Army of Northern Virginia or Tennessee, minus the stars, of course. But believe it or not, in BC, the Confederate battle flag was not the flag that people were really rallying around. That was just a battle flag. The two flags that Southerners rallied around at that time were the Bonnie Blue, which is the first star of the Confederate battle flag. It goes back to the Republic of West Florida in 1810, when Southerners at the Republic of West Florida declared their independence from Spanish rule, and they rallied around the Gadsden flag, the Don't Tread on Me flag, which was designed by Christopher Gadsden, a general in the Continental Army who was in the American Revolution. I was going to say Civil War, not in the Civil War, but the American Revolution. And isn't it funny that South Carolina was the first state to secede in 1860, 1861? Sounds to me like NBC needs to go back and reread their history. But how you make this connection between the Crusades, because they were talking about the Crusades, that Deus Vult hasn't been used since the Crusades. Are you sure about that, NBC? Are you really sure about that? Did your journalists do their research? So again, this is a real scream for me. They're going to connect what happened January 6th with the Crusades, with pro-Confederates. NBC, people who supported the Confederacy has been dead and gone for 150, 160 years, however long it's been. But you're confusing the Confederacy with white supremacy because you see the KKK didn't come around until after the Civil War. Again, you got to go back and do your history on this. These people are idiots. They're idiots. And somehow they're going to make this connection between the Crusades and pro-Confederates and January 6th. I'm a little confused here on the timeline, NBC. So I thought I'd talk about this tonight. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Do you think that Pete Hegseth's tattoos are racist? Do you think tattoos are racist? Maybe one day I'll show you my tattoos. And NBC can come to my channel and argue with me about whether or not I'm racist. Is this channel going to be considered connected to white supremacy? So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes, because I write music in my spare time. Or you can go to X, Culture Confederacy, at CultureConfed1 on X. Now you can find me at Substack. This is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out. Stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing called the United States. I'll catch you next time, and y'all have a great Wednesday night. Take care.